Okay, when you market something, it's not always going to look the same. In fact, when you market something, it's not always about advertising. We're going to talk about that today with a great expert on customer. Whoops, I'll let him tell you. I'm Brenda Trott, the Make Money in Your Sleep girl, and you have reached my channel, which is all things marketing and manifestation. And today I'm going to introduce you to Brian, who's going to tell you about the customer journey and why that's so important for you to understand, from someone finding out who you are all the way to when you service them and beyond. Welcome, Brian.
Oh, thank you so much, Brenda, for having me. I'm excited to be here. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
I was excited to when we met. I am having tech troubles. It is Mercury retrograde. We'll see if that's the real reason or not. But when I first met with you, I know that we cater to the same types of individuals, usually solopreneurs, maybe couples, or who are just growing their business, and service professionals. And when you mentioned that you like about this customer journey, I thought this is a perfect thing to bring to my audience because it's something that's not talked about enough.
that's very true. Very true. And I had no idea what it was before I started my own path of growth, with mentorships and programs. But the more that I learned, the more I understood it's absolutely vital to understand, because everybody that has a business wants predictable income, right? If you've got a business, especially if you're just getting started or thinking about starting one, that's one of the main things you're looking for is predictable income. Your client journey is a linchpin in order to achieve that predictable income. Email list, whatever it is, from that first contact point, you have to know your plan. What is going to happen next for that person if they interact with what you're putting out there? What's that next step, and the next step, and the next step? And you lead them up the value chain of what you have, hopefully all the way to the end, so you can provide them with maximum value, maximum transformation. And that, in a nutshell, is the client journey.
Right. Okay. And you have a really good point, because especially the people who are just starting out, they get into this mindset of where's my next client, where's my next client, where's my next client, or they get all caught up in how to service the best way. And to be a consistent have a consistent income in your business, you really need to at least maybe not focus on all of it at one time, but have it planned out and know exactly what you're going to do.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And what I found, the best way forward is, before you even start reaching out to try to find clients, you need to have that customer journey already put in place. Whatever your products or services are, each level needs to be there and ready to go. That way, when you find that client that's at the beginning stages of whatever you help people with, you're ready with that lower level, entry level program. Or if you find someone that's kind of at the midpoint, they know all this stuff already that's in your lower level services or programs, they're ready to jump in at the middle. And so you're ready as well. And the thing is, once you are in it, once you're in the business and you're working your process, you've got some experience, you've got some marketing going, the next level for you as an entrepreneur is to realize and market to those different levels along the customer journey. Because, like I said before, not everybody that you meet or interact with is going to be at the beginning phases. Some of them are going to be in the middle. And those people that are in the middle of their journey that you can help with, they have a different set of fears, frustrations, and challenges. And you need, in order to attract them to you, you need to message to those fears, frustrations, and challenges for the people that are in the middle of their journey. So that's like, once you have everything in place on your end, then you can start playing with your marketing and messaging for all those touch points along the way on their end. So that's a little perspective shift for you there going forward as you gain more experience and more momentum.
Another thing to just kind of um, tailfish off of that is that it as you need to have the stuff in place before you get started in order to have a productive business that has recurring people coming or referrals and all of those things. But having that client journey in focus and mapped out and understood also makes it helpful when you're ready to expand your services into something else. So when you're saying, you need to know what they're going to do at the lower level and the higher level and the middle level, that's true. But when somebody's ready to expand and to include a service, they can look at the journey and say, where does it make the most sense to offer this? It's not always going to be back at the beginning where, entry level, you don't have to necessarily advertise that. You can go in and say, now that you've got this completed, we also have this service available. So knowing where your things, even if it's something that you come up with later and expand into, having that client journey available is just going to be so helpful to help you get in there. And then there's all the different ways and seeing the client journey, having feedback from people as they come through you and have interactions with you is also going to help you to decide where things need to change or where your message is being dropped, where that communication can be better so that you can go from a 50% closing ratio to a 90% closing ratio. So all of that has to do with that client journey. Is that something that you help people with? Like, do you help them actually build a journey, or you just help them understand it? What is that you do in your business, Brian?
Well, I help them understand what it is. And when they're building it, my one-on-one coaching will help them if they have questions, concerns, or need those little nuances to help build the version that resonates with them and their clients. And also something I help them with, actually the biggest portion I help people with is their mindset. Now, I realize what I said earlier, when you have to know your beginning point and your end point, that can cause some people to say, oh, it's too much. That's too much. I can't do that. I don't know that. So that means I can't do it. Not necessarily. In something that I teach is you don't have to know what the end looks like. You don't have to have that written in stone. And most times it's not written in stone. What you need to know is the basics. What's the basic version of the end result that you want to have for the client? And then build your business, build your client journey backwards. Start from the end, what you want it to look like, and then reverse engineer it from the beginning. So you don't have to absolutely know what the end looks like. You just have to have a good idea. And you made an excellent point, Brenda. Along the way, you're going to get customer feedback. You're going to get feedback that says they like this, they don't like this, they wish you had this, and that feedback is gold because it speaks directly to how you can make yourself, your product, your service better, and gives you ideas for those next levels to really help focus in so that picture that's all fuzzy over here of the end product starts coming more and more clear as you work the beginnings of your client journey. So don't let that fuzzy picture of the end overwhelm you that says you can't do it. You absolutely can.
Right. And don't get too caught up in all of the intricacies of it initially and then hold back from beginning your business and actually going out there and getting it. Brian,
Absolutely.
What kind of businesses do you mostly work with? Are they service-based professionals or otherwise?
So I help service-based first-time entrepreneurs. I help them achieve an unshakable mindset. As I said before, that's 70% of the game, in my opinion, is mindset. So I help them achieve that unshakable mindset and nullify those limiting beliefs so that when they show up, you're able to kick them to the curb right away, right? So 70% mindset, and the rest is building the foundations that all 6 and 7 figure businesses are built on. And the client journey that we've been discussing is definitely part of that.
Okay, before any more tech glitches come up, I want you to be able to share how can people find out more about you?
Very simple. you can go to my website, Brian, Brian, Elam, ELAM.com. And actually, if you go to brianelam.com/find-your-why, for anyone listening, I'm giving you a template on how to discover the deep why behind why you're starting your business. I talked earlier about motivation and being able to stay the course. Having a deep why that you connect with on an emotional level will help you stay motivated and stay the course, because there's always going to be those times when you feel like, you're just not doing enough, or you're not doing it right, or somebody else has already done it, so why should you? In those times, you can go back to that deep why and look at it, resonate with it, and feel it, and understand this is why you're doing it. You're doing it so you can support your parents later in life, or that you can provide your family with a better living situation. Whatever it is, I'm giving away that blueprint to help you figure out what your deep why is. You can have that motivational well.
That's a really valuable thing. I encourage everyone to jump on that, because that is like the basis of most coaching programs when it comes to helping someone with a business, is understanding what motivates you. And it is sometimes the most difficult thing to come up with. You can come up with sales goals, you can come up with how you want to help other people, but to come up with why you're doing what you're doing, I'm so glad that you have something to help people with that. Thanks so much. So check that out. That is spelled is it find your why? Is that what you said?
Yep.
Okay, and it's WHY, not just the letter Y. And
correct.
Yeah. And in the time of text. So make sure that you jump on there, tell Brian that I sent you, and good luck on getting your business done. Also, I have a new quiz out. If you are reaching financial goals, or you're not reaching your financial goals, or you're reaching them and everything drops down, like you might get there and then it disappears, or you have a lot of debt that you're just not sure how you're going to get rid of, take my quiz at finallyfinanciallyfree.me. That's ME. And it's a free quiz that I'm going to give you immediate feedback after you answer certain questions. It's not me personally. It is automated, because that's the way to run your business when you want to be able to work with people one-on-one. So make sure that you go ahead and check that out after you pick up Brian's Find Your Why, and let us know how we can help you further your business. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you so much, Brenda. It's been an absolute pleasure.